Have you ever considered what it truly means to lead? Is it about having all the answers, about being the strongest or the loudest in the room? Brené Brown, in her remarkable book Dare to Lead, poses a different question, one that gets to the very heart of the matter. Who we are is how we lead. This simple yet profound statement invites us to look inward. It suggests that leadership is not a title or a position of power bestowed upon us. Instead, it is a reflection of our own character, our own courage, and our willingness to show up, even when we are uncertain. The book is a guide, a map for anyone who wishes to navigate the complex and often challenging terrain of leading others, not with authority, but with humanity. Brown's research, conducted over many years with leaders across countless fields, reveals a fascinating truth. True leadership, the kind that inspires and fosters growth, is born from a place of daring. Think of it like exploring a vast, uncharted wilderness. One could stay on the well-trodden paths where the way is clear and the risks are minimal. This is the path of comfort, of management through control and fear. At the very core of Brené Brown's work is an idea that many find quite surprising. It is the concept of vulnerability. In our world, we often see vulnerability as a weakness, a flaw to be hidden away. Yet Brown's research reveals the opposite. She argues quite convincingly that vulnerability is not weakness. It is, in fact, our greatest measure of courage. Imagine a lion tamer stepping into the ring. They do not enter with brute force alone, trying to dominate the magnificent creature before them. Instead, there is a deep, quiet understanding, a connection built on respect and a certain degree of exposure. The tamer is vulnerable. They must be present, aware, and open to the unpredictable nature of the animal. In the same way, a daring leader does not rely on armor or authority to command respect. They step into the arena of their team or organization with an open heart, willing to say, "I don't know," or "I need help," or even, "I made a mistake." Think of a flock of birds flying in formation. The lead bird faces the most resistance, yet it continues onward, and its position allows the others to fly with greater ease. When it tires, another moves forward to take its place. Brené Brown often refers to a powerful quote from Theodore Roosevelt about the man in the arena. It speaks of the person who is actually in the fight, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly. It contrasts this individual with the critic who stands on the sidelines, pointing out how the strong person stumbles. Consider a ship's captain navigating through a perilous storm. The captain must listen intently to their trusted crew, the navigator reading the charts, the engineer monitoring the engine, the lookout scanning the waves. Their feedback is vital for survival. But what of the distant observers on the shore, watching the ship toss and turn? Their opinions, their fears, their judgments are irrelevant to the immediate task of navigating the storm. Brown suggests we should make a small list, perhaps on a tiny square of paper that fits in our wallet, of the people whose opinions truly matter. These are the individuals who love us not despite our imperfections, but because of them. Once we have found the courage to be vulnerable, the next step is to learn how to navigate the difficult emotions and conversations that inevitably arise. Brené Brown calls this process rumbling with vulnerability. Think of it like two geologists studying a fault line. They are not there to argue about who is right or wrong about the impending earthquake. Instead, they're there to share their data, discuss their theories, and rumble with the complex information until they reach a clearer understanding. To rumble effectively, Brown suggests we start with a simple but powerful phrase. The story I'm telling myself is... This language is honestly transformative. Instead of stating an accusation like, "You ignored my email," which immediately puts the other person on the defensive, we can say, "The story I'm telling myself is that you are not interested in my input because you didn't reply to my email." This opens the door for a real conversation. What do you stand for? If you had to choose just one or two core values that guide your life and your work, what would they be? Brené Brown argues that it is impossible to lead with courage and integrity if we are not clear about our own values. Imagine you are lost in a dense forest. A map is useless without a compass. The compass doesn't tell you exactly which path to take, but it always points you toward true north. Our values aren't just aspirational words we hang on a wall. They're the compass that guides our behavior, especially when we're faced with difficult choices or immense pressure. If one of your core values is family, but you consistently miss family dinners because of work, you are not living into your value. It's not enough to say a value is respect. What does respect look like in action? Maybe it means not interrupting others in meetings, listening to understand rather than to respond, and speaking truthfully but kindly. Trust is the glue that holds teams and organizations together. Without it, there can be no true collaboration, no risk-taking, and no psychological safety. But what is trust? Brené Brown demystifies this concept by breaking it down into 7 distinct observable behaviors. She uses the acronym BRAVING to explain this anatomy of trust. The elements are boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and generosity. Trust isn't lost or gained in a single moment. It's like a marble jar. Every time someone demonstrates one of the braving elements, a marble goes in. Every time they fail to, a marble comes out. The small things, showing up on time, remembering a promise, keeping a confidence, admitting a mistake, are the deposits that fill the jar. Conversely, small betrayals, gossiping, breaking a confidence, blaming others, quickly empty it. As we draw our exploration to a close, we return to the fundamental truth at the heart of Dare to Lead. Think of a grand ancient tree. Its strength doesn't come from being rigid and unbending. Its strength comes from its deep roots, which allow it to be flexible, to sway in the wind without breaking. The principles of daring leadership are like those roots. They ground us in our values and give us the stability to be vulnerable, to bend without breaking when faced with the storms of uncertainty and change. The world does not need more leaders who are protected by armor, who lead from a place of fear and scarcity. What the world needs are leaders who are willing to be human, to be imperfect, and to be brave. And so the final question is not for someone else, but for you. As you stand at the threshold of your own arena, whether that is in an office, a home, or a community, how will you choose to show up? What is the one small step you can take today to choose courage over comfort? Your answer to that question is where your journey to Dare to Lead truly begins.